Yashodanandana Brajajanaranjana Yashodanandana Brajajanaranjana Yamunatiravanachari Yamunatiravanachari Jai Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Gopijana Vallabha Girivaradhari Yashodanandana Brajajanaranjana Yashodanandana Brajajanaranjana Yamunatiravanachari Yamunatiravanachari Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Jaya Prabhupada Jaya Prabhupada Jai Jai Prabhupada Jai Prabhupada Jai Om Vishnupada Paramahansa Privrajacharya Stotra Sutta Shishima Jivange Sabhe Charanaravinda Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai Om Vishnupada Paramahansa Privrajacharya Stotra Sutta Shishima Jivange Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Maharaj Srila Prabhupada Ki Ananta Koti Vaishnava Vinda Ki Prem Se Kaho Shri Krishna Chaitanya श्रीमद् भागवत महापुराण की समवेत गौर भक्त वृंद की निताय गौर प्रेमानंदे। हरे कृष्ण। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। नारायणं नमस्कृत्य नरं चैव नरोत्तमं देवीं सरस्वतीं व्यासं ततो जयमुदीरये। हरे कृष्ण। Reading from Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 11, chapter number 8, chapter entitled The Story of Pingala. Text number 7. दृष्ट्वा स्त्रियं देवमाया तद्भावेरजितेन्द्रिया प्रलोभिता पतत्यन्धे तमस्यग्नो पतंगवा। दृष्ट्वा स्त्रियं देवमाया तद्भावेरजितेन्द्रियः प्रलोभितः पतन्त्यन्धे तमस्यग्नो पतंगवा। दृष्ट्वा स्त्रियं देवमाया तद्भावेरजितेन्द्रियः प्रलोभितः पतत्यन्धे तमस्यग्नो पतंगवा। Basically, प्रलोभितः पतत्यन्धे तमस्यग्नो पतंगवा। दृष्ट्वा स्त्रियं देवमाया तद्भावेरजितेन्द्रियः प्रलोभितः पतत्यन्धे तमस्यग्नो पतंगवा। दृष्ट्वा स्त्रियं देवमाया तद्भावेरजितेन्द्रिया प्रलोभिता प्रतत्यन्धे तमसि अग्नो पतंगवा। दृष्ट्वा स्त्रियं देवमाया तद्भावेरजितेन्द्रियः प्रलोभिता पतत्यन्धे तमस्यग्नो पतंगवा। What is the translation? Translation of the fourth for disciples of Drishtva. Tamasi, Striyam, a woman, Deva Maya, whose form is created by the illusory energy of the Lord. Tat Bhave, by the alluring, seductive activities of the woman. Ajita, one who has not controlled. Indriyaha, his senses. Pralobhitaha, enticed. Patati, falls down. Andhe, into the blindness of ignorance. Tamasi, into the darkness of hell. Agno, in the fire. Patangavat, just like the moth. One who has failed to control his senses immediately feels attraction upon seeing a woman's form, which is created by the illusory energy of the Supreme One. Indeed, when the woman speaks with enticing words, smiles coquettishly, and moves her body sensuously, his mind is immediately captured, and thus he falls blindly into the darkness of material existence, just as the moth, maddened by the fire, rushes blindly into the flames. Srila Sridhar Swami explains in this regard that just as a moth is killed by its attraction to the form of fire, similarly a bee can easily be killed by exploiting its attraction to the fragrance of flowers. Furthermore, hunters may trap and kill an elephant by exploiting its sensuous desire to touch a captive female elephant, and may also kill a deer by attracting it with the sounds of their horns. And a fish is killed by its desire to taste the bait on a hook. Thus, one who desires to learn detachment from material illusion should accept these 5 helpless creatures as Guru and learn the needful. Certainly, one who is lusty to enjoy the illusory form of a woman will be quickly buried in material illusion. Of the 5 types of fatal attraction involving material sense object, the lesson of rupa or form is illustrated in this verse. Om Jnanatimirandhasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurumritam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namah. Namo Vishnupadaya Krishna Prasthaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swami Niti Namine. Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Desatarine. Namo Mahavadanyaya Krishna Prema Pradayate Krishnaya Krishna Chaitanya Namine Gauratushe Namaha. He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Deenabandhu Jagatpate Gopesh Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namastute Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanu Sute Devi Pranamami Hari Priye. Vancha Kalpa Tarubhyasya Kripa Sindhubhya Evacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha. Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama Hare Rama, Rama Rama Hare Hare. Mukam karoti vachalam, Angum langhayate girim, Yat kripa tamaham bande, Shri Guru Dinatarinam, Shri Paramananda Madhavam, Shri Chaitanya Ishwaram. Hare Krishna. So last so many days together, we are hearing grinding reality of the material existence. First we were discussing about, I think last week, the class got terminated somehow. But we were discussing about Kapota and Kapoti. And now in this story of Pingla, we're discussing about how graphic Srimad Bhagavatam explains about the form of a lady. And later on in the story, as it goes ahead, the story of Pingla, how Pingla condemns the body. So sometimes when we read these slokas, especially such strong, I've seen the narrative of this sloka is so strong. That the previous section was so strong. When we read these strong verses containing material existence, we need to understand that these verses have to be read with great caution. Otherwise, we may land up into more Maya, in condemning Maya, than getting attached to Maya. Material energy is so cunning, so very cunning, that it can trap us by condemning her more than by getting attached to her. If we don't learn these verses properly, with the proper consciousness, with proper chetana, then we may end up criticizing material energy, condemning the form of a woman. Maya. And we may be more attached to Maya by condemning Maya.
Like, imagine a lady has got a special sari from her mother, and the lady is showing to her friend, "Oh, Mataji, just see this beautiful sari my mother has gifted." "Oh, what sari is this? You are simply a bag of stool and urine and wearing the sari. Useless." And some Prabhu is talking with another Prabhu. "Prabhu, you are looking smart today." "You are simply a moth, according to Srimad Bhagavatam." So when we don't read these verses with the proper consciousness, we may condemn Maya, thinking that by condemning Maya, I will be detached from Maya. But the act of condemning Maya is the worst form of attachment to Maya. The one who is most attached to Maya is the one who is most averse to Maya. Hare Krishna. Raga Dvesha Vimukteshu. Raga Dvesha. The one who is most averse to material energy is one who is fully entrapped by the attachments of the material energy. And that's how we see, if we read, these verses, like the last section, how Grihastha ashram is condemned in one sense with the story of Kapota and Kapoti, and how the form of woman is spoken in this verse here. So these verses have to be read with a lot of caution. And today we will see how to see these verses of Srimad Bhagavatam. Srimad Bhagavatam is Amala Puran. A Vaishnava, he never condemns anyone. And how could Srimad Bhagavatam speak such strong words? And what Srimad Bhagavatam wants to teach us through these strong words? So we see the underlying principle we will discuss today, as we were discussing last class, that detachment can come in our heart through aversion from material energy. You understand? Aversion. And detachment can come in our heart through aspiration for spiritual energy. So Srimad Bhagavatam, when is speaking about all this, the consciousness that one should read these verses is to not feel aversion to the material energy, but feel a higher aspiration for spiritual energy. We will discuss how. We see that the first section that is discussed in this entire episode by Avadut Brahmana is the section of Kapota and Kapoti, who is condemned so much the Grihastha and over excessive attachment to Grihastha. So that is subtle emotional attachment. And in this chapter, it is more gross. If you read the entire chapter, as we go ahead, story of Pingla, and it's more about gross sense gratification. And the previous chapter was more of a subtle emotional attachment to sense gratification. Shri Nitai Gauranga ki jai. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Srimad Bhagavatam speaks these verses to help us aspire for higher things in life. One time I was, in 2017, I used to stay in Albert Road and come here to Newtown for preaching. This is how many years have passed? 9 years have passed so fast. So it would get late because the class will get over by 8:30, 8 o'clock, and I would take a Uber and go back to Albert Road. So I remember one time I had taken a Uber and I was there and the driver was there. And it was night, so almost become 9 o'clock. So it's so I just started preaching to the driver. I started asking the driver, what is your age and what you're doing and everything. The driver said, I am 29 now. I said, okay, you should get married then. And the driver said, Swamiji, why should I get married? In just 500 rupees, I get everything in Calcutta. I was like, yuck, what this fellow is telling. I'm wearing saffron, I'm chanting Hare Krishna. He doesn't have the etiquette what to speak to whom. And I said, I must get down and put Ganga Jal. What such a poor person is this? And I immediately took out my big bag and I started chanting loudly, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. And then this person could not understand. He was so degraded. He was so degraded that he could not even understand my disgusting expression. And I started chanting and I didn't even look at him. And I started chanting. Whole journey I was chanting loudly so that he hears some holy name. And I made him chant Hare Krishna. And I understood that we should not ask such questions again to anyone nowadays. Because what answers people will give? People are so condemned. So people who are so sensuously attached to Pingala-like attachment, scriptures glorify Grihastha Ashram. Grihastha Ashram is a shelter by which such horrible sensuous attachment and horrible illegal, illicit behavior is curtailed and channelized properly. So one who is attached to self, scriptures condemn attachment to self and glorify Grihastha Ashram. You will find in scriptures so many places Grihastha Ashram is glorified. Husband and wife staying together, doing devotional service is glorified. And you will read Kapota and Kapoti, you will be wondering, why it is being condemned now? Why it is glorified here? Why is condemned now? What is being spoken? So for someone who is like this driver, or who is like Pingla, Grihastha Ashram is glorified. So that from the gross, degraded, illegal, illicit, sensuous attachment, in the most wrong way, degraded way, he aspires for higher sense of responsible enjoyment. From irresponsible, sensuous enjoyment focused on the self. How degraded it is to responsible, selfless enjoyment. I will give an example how from self, Grihastha Ashram makes you selfless. A personal example, how I learned it. So in 2007 or 8, I think it's 7 or 8, there was heavy rains in Kharagpur. I was studying in IIT that time. Heavy rains. So much heavy rains, just after our VTW, the summer camp was over, and then there was so much of rains that the entire route from Kharagpur to Puri was blocked. And there were no trains going and nothing, and I had got some 7-8 days to go home and come back for the new sessions to start. So I was just wondering how to find out, because I have to go back and parents were calling. So because the road from Kharagpur to Bhubaneswar and Puri was blocked because of rains and the railway tracks were all submerged. So I took the route from Kharagpur to Jamshedpur, from Jamshedpur to Rourkela, and from Rourkela to Bhubaneswar, and Bhubaneswar to Puri. That's a big, like a circle. So I took that route, and it took almost like 1 full day to reach, 1.5 day. So before that, some devotees from BTW had come from Pune, and I had asked to bring mango barfi of Pune, because when I had gone to Pune, from the Pune Govindas, I don't know how many of you have tasted the special. Kushal Bihari Prabhu has tasted. I don't know now is it famous or not, but during our time, Pune Govindas had just started, and mango barfi was the most exotic item of Pune Govindas, like famous in Kharagpur. Mango barfis. So I had tasted it and I had asked it. And I had thought that I will eat little bit and I will take whole thing to my home for my father and mother. If they taste the mango burfi, they will also become devotees. You know how in the beginning we are so innocent. Yes. Later on we realize that so much mango burfis I have taken, still now I have not become a devotee. So I took that entire box, put it in my bag, you know how the laptop bag, and put it in my bag. And then I started. And then first I reached Jamshedpur from Rourkela, and Rourkela I got down, took a bus from Rourkela to Bhubaneswar. And all throughout I have not packed anything. And I'm feeling little hungry. And then every time I will put my hand in the bag and not even open the entire box out and put, and not even, you know, the box, the sweet boxes have that, what do you say? The thread. So I will not even open the thread. You know how? And put the hand like this and take it out, and the box will be in the bag itself. And take it out and take it. So remaining for my father and mother. And then Rourkela came, and I used to do that from Rourkela to Bhubaneswar in the bus. It takes a lot of time from Rourkela to Bhubaneswar. Those who know, you know, every 2 hours because I had nothing and I was feeling really hungry, really hungry. And that time, I remember that time in Voice, I used to eat 6 chapatis and 2 mounds of rice and so much of sabji. And still I was thin and I was working so hard, like it was like different time, and I used to feel so hungry. So I used to always keep on whole journey I was putting that and taking out. Hare Krishna. So then I reached Bhubaneswar. I took a bus from Bhubaneswar to Puri. And then in the bus, when it came Sakshi Gopal area, and I was still feeling hungry. We were almost, now it is 1.5 day journey. I have only survived on the mango barfi. And then again I put hand. And again I started, but then I realized that the box has become very light now. I took out the box and there was 1 mango barfi left. I thought if I take this big box and 1 mango barfi, it will be really a condemnation on my... now 3 years I have been practicing devotional service. I have no sense control. How can I show my face to my mother? So I took that mango barfi, threw out that box. And I said, now I am a great soul. Mother doesn't even know that I have brought mango barfi. I can still tell my mother that I am a great soul. I am a great Vaishnav, sense-controlled. Then I reached Puri station. My father had come to take me. And then I reached home, and because my mother was constantly calling, you know, she was waiting, and my mother embraced me and brought me, and I thought, I'll take a bath. My mother said, no, you have to take, because you're hungry. I was feeling so guilty. I am not hungry. I took the entire box of mango barfi. And then my mother didn't allow me to take bath, and then she had prepared parathas and sabjis and everything, and I was taking the paratha, and my father was there, my mother was cooking. My father said, you know, we were really concerned about you're not picking up the calls also. My father always has one complaint, that I don't pick up call. And because I didn't pick up call, I have got a curse of my father. My mobile doesn't work now. No, now I contacted Jio Mumbai, CTO, Chief Technical Officer of Jio. Even he is not able to resolve why someone cannot call my number. So my father always has one complaint: you don't pick up your calls. Why? I don't know. And then you are not picking up call, and no, you see. And then I was taking the paratha. My father said, just a casual remark, that since last 1.5 days, your mother has not eaten anything. I was like, I stopped chewing. And I was like, dumbstruck. What, my mother has not eaten anything? And I brought mango burfis for her. And I have eaten all the mango burfis. My mother is thinking I'm hungry. And she has not eaten because I have not eaten anything. And what type of person I am? So Grihastha ashram is meant to develop this selfless attitude. From a selfish mango burfi enjoying attitude to a selfless attitude that if this person has not eaten anything, my relative, my son, my husband, my wife, how can I eat? I remember I have seen my mother waiting that when my father will come, my mother will eat. I have seen my father waiting. If the mother is not there, then he will wait. Okay, both of us will sit and eat together, even if he is feeling hungry. So from a selfish attitude of sensuous enjoyment, Grihastha ashram helps a person to aspire for selfless happiness in selfless enjoyment. There is definitely some amount of happiness in gross sensuous enjoyment like pingla. Otherwise, the pinglas of this world will be not doing their business. There is definitely some happiness there. But Srimad Bhagavatam or scriptures, they glorify Grihastha ashram to help us aspire for a higher sense of happiness and get detached to this gross, useless, degraded, selfish enjoyment. But when one is completely situated in Grihastha ashram nicely, completely selfless, then the scriptures tell him that now you do not work only for your family, for your wife, for your child. Be generous, be charitable. See the entire world as family. If you read the ideal family life, the chapter of ideal family life in Srimad Bhagavatam, I think it comes in 7th canto, you will see that it is mentioned that the Grihasthas should see the rats as children. Can you imagine seeing rats as children? Seeing Srinita Das for my mother as a children is to some extent, because I am mother and son. Seeing rat as children, seeing lizards as children, I get so disgusted with lizards. They keep on doing like that. To see lizard as a children, oh, this lizard has taken shelter. I remember Srila Prabhupada used to say, yes, if you remember, Srila Prabhupada used to say that his father had a cloth business. And Srila Prabhupada would say that my father would keep chida on the center of the place in the night, so that the rats will get chida and not cut the cloth of my father. This is family life. So Grihastha ashram gives an opportunity to aspire for a higher sense of happiness through selfless enjoyment by detaching ourselves from degraded, sensuous, illicit, illegal, irresponsible enjoyment like pingla. But when one is properly situated there, like a kapota and kapoti, there is also a danger to get completely absorbed and think that this is the goal of life. Taking care of my son, taking care of my wife, taking care of my husband is goal of life. So from self, scriptures give us understanding how selfless is better than the self. And when it's properly situated in selflessness, he is very responsible in his family life. He is very responsible in his duties as an employer or an employee, or in his professional duties. He is very, very responsible. Then scriptures help one person to aspire for self-realization. So from self to selfless to self-realized. We will see that how much Srila Prabhupada condemned social service. Yes? And sometimes we may, if we do not understand the consciousness of why we condemn social service, we may condemn social service, the act of social service. Social service is very glorious. For whom? For those people who are irresponsible, degraded, illicit, illegal. They should be spoken more and more and more about the glories of social service. But on the platform of Srimad Bhagavatam, social service is baseless. Srila Prabhupada used to always say, you may feed some person one roti and the roti comes out as stool the next day. What is going to happen to that person? He will simply continue his janma, mrityu, jara, vyadhi. Social service is not condemned. But in connection with self-realization, social service is tucham, useless. And that's how, if you read Prahlad Maharaj, his understanding of Grihastha Ashram is actually the right understanding. If you read one verse about Grihastha Ashram, Prahlad Maharaj says, Yan maithunadi grihamedhi sukham hi tucham. It is useless in comparison to the happiness of self-realization. So the happiness of irresponsible, selfish enjoyment is useless, baseless, nothing in comparison to the happiness that my mother was getting. When I stopped eating because I was thinking I was happy enjoying the mango barfi, I realized my mother is more happy by not eating the mango barfi. So, for someone who is engrossed in selfish enjoyment, scriptures show him the path of higher, aspiring for higher selfless enjoyment. For someone who is well established in higher, responsible, selfless enjoyment in this society, scriptures glorify the happiness of self-realization, condemning the futility and temporary nature of the social service of this world, or the emotional attachment to husband and wife like the kapota and kapoti. So we must understand self-realization is higher than selfless enjoyment. The happiness of self-realization, happiness of sharing the happiness of self-realization with others is much higher. So in this connection, in this context of aspiring for self-realization, aspiring for a higher sense of life, purpose of life, the scriptures here in this episode condemn the emotional attachment between husband and wife, excessive emotional attachment. Brahma bhuta prasantatma na kangshati na sochati. Scriptures, they take a person from selfless, responsible person who is very responsible to family, to society, in giving charity, and tell them that this is just temporary. This is useless. In comparison, look for higher. Look for the higher sense of life. Aspire for a higher happiness. Yes, you are doing good. You are charitable. Yes, you are taking so nice care of your wife, so nice care of your children. But there is something higher beyond it. That is self-realization. So in that mood, the Grihastha ashram is condemned. That the Grihastha ashram can create problems and barriers in a person aspiring for self-realization. Because he may think, I'm doing good thing. Yes. The most difficult people to preach in this world are the pious materialists. When we go to them and tell them, like you'll see some people, they have lot of parthiva sukh. There is parthiva sukh means, parthiva means prithvi. Parthiva sukh means they're having a nice joint family and the business is going nice. And the husband and wife is so nicely serving each other. The children are so nice. And the boys are so nice. The girls are so nice. And then the grandfather, grandmother. And you go and tell, material world is a temporary place filled of misery. Swamiji, where is... And this attachment to husband and wife is so nice, Swamiji. I'm doing service. ये जो गुड़िया है, I've heard people telling, Marwadi is telling, ये जो गुड़िया है भगवान की मूर्ति है स्वामी जी. This is incarnation of Devi in our house. Wow, what a consciousness to take care of your grandchild, right? Devi has come to our house. And then the wife will come, I prayed to Devi so much. And Devi has blessed us with this Gudiya. And by serving this Gudiya, everything is achieved. Such people are spoken about Kapota and Kapoti. How long this Gudiya will remain with you? How long the Gudiya? And the same people, when the Gudiya becomes teenager, now the Gudiya is not Gudiya now. Now the Gudiya is looking for a Guddu. And the grandfather is thinking, why my Gudiya is thinking about Guddu and forgotten me? And the grandfather is thinking, my Gudiya, itna choti tha. Now she has founded a Guddu. Swamiji, please tell her that this is not the age. I say, what is the age then? This is the age. Now she has grown up. Now she is looking around and finding out some boy. And maybe you would have also done like that. So understand, the happiness, even if it is selfless in this material, in this Grihastha ashram, scriptures are telling that happiness is temporary. It is pure as compared to this level. But as compared to the pure, pristine, selfless enjoyment of the self, of the soul, the Grihastha ashram is temporary. So Grihastha ashram's temporary nature is condemned, not impure nature is condemned. When the Pingala type attachment is condemned, it is about condemnation of the impurity, degraded nature. But when Kapota and Kapoti is condemned, what is condemned is about the temporary nature of even the pure selfless attachment. When a mother is attached to son selflessly, yes, it is pure, but it is temporary. In this world, the duality is even the pure is temporary, the impure is temporary. Good is temporary, bad is temporary. For someone who is attached to bad, good is glorified of this world. so that he gives up bad, he gets detached from bad and aspires for good. For someone who is attached to good of this world, the temporary nature of the good of this world is glorified, like here in Srimad Bhagavatam, so that he aspires for good of the spiritual realm. Now, from self, Srimad Bhagavatam helps us to aspire for selfless. And from selfless, Srimad Bhagavatam aspires us to self-realized. But all of us as Vaishnavas, from self-realized, Srimad Bhagavatam helps us to aspire for servant-realized. How a devotee with the servant Chetana sees this verse. Highly teeth-grinding condemnation of material energy. As you go, you'll read. So, this is what Chetana, what I have spoken is the Chetana of a person who is in the platform of a soul. He thinks that, okay, there is some happiness in Grihastha ashram and husband and wife and nice, the society, social service. But compared to the happiness of Brahma Bhuta Prasantatma, na kankshati na sochati of this world. He doesn't condemn, he is neither averse nor attached. But sama sarveshu bhuteshu mad bhakti lavate param. That means the platform of a devotee is much higher. The platform of servant realized is much higher than self-realization. How it is higher and how a devotee sees these verses, this is the most important thing we'll discuss in the last 5 minutes. How a servant realized person, how a devotee sees these condemning verses. I'll give an example so that you can understand. Very simple example. A father and a son. The father has AK-47. You understand? AK-47, okay. Rifle. Okay, rifle is not so sophisticated, but AK-47, which has a big bullets attached and you can fire. So now one son is there. He sees AK-47, says, dangerous, dangerous, dangerous. This is condemned, AK-47. Another son, he sees the AK-47 as पापा का है ये, पापा ने रखा है मेरे को प्रोटेक्शन देने के लिए. Dangerous है, but this is meant for helping me to protect. पापा का है, पापा ने रखा है ताकि I will be protected. He has kept this AK-47 to protect me. So when a self-realized person reads this verse, he understands condemned. These analysis of how a man and woman attraction is so dangerous, so powerful. He sees, oh, the man and woman attraction, these verses are speaking so powerful, so dangerous. Mataji, your Maya. But when a devotee reads this verse, a devotee understands this is spoken by Krishna. Papa mere ko bol rahe hain. Papa is telling these verses to give me protection and telling danger hai. I have kept this for you to get protected. If you read this, you will be careful. And you do not play with my rifle. You will hurt yourself. Rifle I have kept for your protection only. These verses, you are not supposed to read these verses and condemn the rifle. Glorify the rifle. Glorify the material energy. If you read Lord Shiva's consciousness after he was affected by material energy, you read the entire section after that Mohini Murti and Lord Shiva is enticed by the Mohini Murti. you read Lord Shiva is glorifying the material energy of Lord. And how the Lord and these verses are spoken, and we should understand, ये पापा का राइफल है. पापा ने रखा है असुर लोगों को कंट्रोल करके रखने के लिए. These verses, these attraction between man and woman and the dangers of this, like the moth is a asura. If you read the section of the third canto of Srimad Bhagavatam, where Brahma is being attacked by by people who are attached to male forms also, like some what do you say? I don't want to use the word in Bhagavatam, but whatever it is, some people are born who want to enjoy with Brahma only, and they start running towards Brahma. And then Brahma says, oh, who are these people? Why they want to enjoy with me? And these are like male, and they want to attach to another male. Now you're able to understand. So they're running towards Brahma, and Brahma is praying, oh my Lord, what I have created. Oh my Lord, save me. And then the Lord says, Brahma, give up your body. Give up your body. And then the body goes out, and the body becomes like a form of a male, subtle form of a male. And these people, they start attacking it like moth attacking the light. So when a devotee reads these verses, a devotee understands, ये पापा का राइफल है असुर लोगों को अलग रखने के लिए, प्रोटेक्ट करने के लिए, ताकि मेरे को असुर लोग ट्रबल ना करें. They are busy with their pinglas. So that I am free to perform my chanting of holy names. So when a devotee reads this verse, his consciousness is, this is dangerous. The form of woman is dangerous, the grihastha ashram is dangerous, but for whom? For those who are non-devotee. But for one who is a devotee, it is not dangerous. Devotee sees Krishna everywhere. So for non-devotees, this material energy is rifle. These verses, one should understand, is meant to help us understand that my Papa has kept this energy like this, so that I remain protected. And the non-devotees, those who are asuras, they get so busy in all these affairs. Tamasi, Agno, Patangavat. I am not a Agni, right? So they will not get attracted. Tamasi, Agno, Patangavat. So they get so busy. So the material energy in its condemnable form, as explained in those verses, is like the rifle of Papa, Krishna, to help us only as devotees give protection. So the devotee, when he reads these verses, understands that this material energy is very powerful, is made powerful, so that the asuras will remain at bay. They will get so attached to this material energy, so that I am free, I am protected. And in the second thing, a devotee understands that don't play with the rifle of Papa. This is Papa's special rifle. You may land up into problem. So these are the two consciousness a devotee has. First of all, the devotee understands that these verses are meant for the asuras. And these powerful material energy acts like this, in this way, that is being spoken for asuras. Lord Vishnu is telling to Lord Shiva, when Lord Shiva is telling that I want to see your Mohini form, you showed it to the demigods and you didn't show to me. And then Lord Vishnu is smiling and telling, Kama, Kaminam, if you read the verse, it says, Kaminam bahumantavya. Kaminam. Lord Shiva, why you are desiring to see that form? That form is for asuras. To delude the asuras and protect the devotees. So the material energy works. It is the rifle of Papa. It is dangerous. It is very, very dangerous. But it is meant for our protection, so that we are protected from the demons. So that demons get so absorbed in it that we have lot of ample time to chant Hare Krishna. And the second reason how a devotee reads this verse is, a devotee understands, ये पापा का राइफल है, हाथ मत लगाओ, पापा ने रखा है मेरा ही प्रोटेक्शन के लिए. Be very, very careful. This is not to be played for, otherwise I will hurt myself. In this way, Srimad Bhagavatam, the detachment explained in Srimad Bhagavatam is not detachment out of condemnation or aversion, because there is more Maya in being averse to Maya than being attached to Maya. So if one is averse to Maya, he is more attached to Maya than who is attached to Maya. So detachment out of aversion, and Srimad Bhagavatam speaks about detachment, about higher aspiration, from self to selfless, from selfless to self-realized, and finally devotee realized. A devotee realized, a servant realized, understands the material world and the material principles in completely different way. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Srimad Bhagavat Mahapurana ki Kapoti Upakhyan ki, story of Pingla ki jai, Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Hare Krishna.